Hi everybody, welcome back. So recently there's been a news that's been around the market about the PSW, whether the government's planning to scrap the PSW or whether the students, the students who are graduating or planning to come and study here in UK, whether the government's planning to, ban the PSW after 2023. And so through this video, we're gonna talk about like what's the crack about the news, basically. So whether the government's planning to stop the PSW or whether it's just the word of mouth that's been circulated in the market. So make sure you are here till the end of the video to know whether you know it's good time to come and study here in UK, whether you are getting the benefit of PSW or not. So without further ado, let's go. Let's first start with what even PSW is. I guess many of the people who are, even not many, even 99% of the students or the people who are planning to come and study here in UK are already familiar with PSW. But if you are not, and if you are in the 1% of that group, so PSW is basically a visa that's been released by the UK government who successfully completes, the students who successfully completes the study in UK. So that it's a visa that's been granted to a student who successfully completes their study, whether it's with bachelor's, master's, PSW, PhD, whatever that is. So students who completes their master's and bachelor's, they are given the PSW for 2 years, and the students who complete their PhD here in UK are given the PSW for 3 years. So it's a graduate route visa, where students after graduation are given quite a few years of time to work and get experience, take the exposure, and if possible find a job where you can settle for the rest of your life. So the question now arises, why is this news about the ban in or the scrapping of PSW circulating around the market? Discussion about the PSW started when the recent UK new Home Minister released an article saying the only way to control the migration in the country is to limit the a number of student visa that's been granted to international students. It's really going to happen? Like, is the government ready to scrap the PSW, in order to reduce the international students migrating to the country? Is this really going to happen, or is just word of a mouth that's been circulating around the market? So let's discuss this in detail. The PSW was previously there in the country, and it was scrapped in 2012 by then government, and it was brought back again in 2019 by the recent government. So PSW was recently brought back in 2019, and the major reason to bring back PSW was to uh, attract international students to come and study here in UK. Why was this PSW even brought back? Why was the decision brought back? So government basically has two benefit in order to implement PSW. The number one reason, like I already said, is to attract the high volume of international students to come and study here in UK. So why does that benefits government? Well, basically tuition fees, the expenditure that the students make in here, the amount of the money students spend in here. In short, basically for economic growth. If you see from tuition fees point of view as well, the UK home student pays around 9,000 something for all the degrees, and for international students the fees starts from like 13,000 and goes all the way to 20,000, 25,000 pounds. So you can see like how government is benefiting by attracting high volumes of international students in order to take the economy to the next level. The students who normally come to study here, they pay tuition fees, they contribute to the country's economy, they work here, they pay taxes here. So basically it's a win-win situation for both government and students. Why does government wants to come out of this benefit, especially considering when the country is not country is going through serious economic crisis? So even from a simple point, simple logic, do you think government's planning to cut the PSW when the country needs the high volume of international students? So this is definitely not true. So the news that's being spreading around the market about the ban in PSW or the control the PSW for students who are graduating, or so this is completely false. So there is no official statement from the UKVI government saying so they are going to scrap the PSW. However, they released a statement about the dependent visa. So that is so if a married couple come to study here, so if a husband has enrolled into a university, the husband can bring her wife along, his wife along to the country, so that wife can work full time. So they are planning to limit the number of dependent visa that they are being issuing, but there is no official news on whether they are scrapping the PSW or not. So students who are planning to come and study here in UK, you can fearlessly take admission, come here. There's no official news. And so let's now talk about why there are some situations where students don't get their PSW. So we have I personally have met quite a few students who have not got their PSW. So there was few reasons behind that. So number one reason is not completing their studies. So there are quite a few students like who come to study here in UK, but they go to university for a few months, and after that they leave their study and they start working full time. So that's, if you are doing that, there's no PSW for that, since your visa for this country was granted to come and study here in UK and not work full time. So you can only work full time once you complete your study and once you have been given the tier 2 visa or the working visa. So if you leave your study and focus only on working, your chances for getting a PSW might be limited. And the number two reason why students don't get PSW is failing their exams or not submitting their assignment or getting an plagiarism in assignment. So I have seen quite a few news article about the international students, who completely focus on their work and not on their study. They buy the assignment, meaning they, purchase the assignment where they find plagiarism. So if that's the case, your chances for getting PSW might be limited. So if you are a student who is coming here to study, get experience, get exposure, focusing on their skills, growing expertise, so there your chances for getting job and PSW is always high. So if you are staying in the country within the UKVI set regulation for the visa that's been issued to you, there is no harm for you. Come and study here in UK. There is no ban in PSW. I personally think the government's not planning. Government will not scrap the PSW for a few years to come. Some of the video, PSW is definitely not ending in near future, and be aware of all the false information that's being circulated around the market. So I hope this video was helpful. If you find value through this video, make sure you like and subscribe to the like the video and subscribe to the channel, so that YouTube algorithm knows that I exist in the platform. And I will be back very soon with the informative video. Thanks a lot. Cheers. Bye bye.